Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast with me, your beautiful host, Gareth, and my slightly downgraded colleague, Keith. See, see, if I had complimented you, you'd be freaking out and you'd be going, "Oh no!"
What have I done?
What have I done wrong?
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
So, I was going to sit there and go, "What you've been playing?" But that's the other podcast.
Not much.
I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077, and it feels more like what Starfield should have been in comparison to what we've got
Cyberpunk's
delivered.
out on the PlayStation now, isn't it? Is it worth?
It's been out for ages. Oh, I think you'll probably pick it up for like 20 quid or whatever. So I think it's probably worth the money. So
I might give it a go. Hey, Biffa.
we fixed a load of things. They fixed a load of things on it. Anyway, I don't know why I was bringing up gaming, considering this is the
Biffa comes out. I've been playing Legos this week. I built the second biggest Lego kit I have, and because Biffa's here, it's Lord of the Rings Rivendell. I can't actually show you, or can I show you it? It's epic. I mean, it is actually it has become my favorite kit, and I've got it all laid out is
it an official one, or is it one of these Chinese knockoff ones that you've been talking about?
Oh god damn. There you go. There you can see it. There you go. It's beautiful. Yeah. And knockoff.
Okay.
It was slightly cheaper, like a lot cheaper. But it was still like, I mean, it is the same. The faces on the hobbits are slightly not the way they should be in the official kit, but it's enough to sort of do the meeting of the Council of Elrond, and I've got that sort of all laid out, and I love it. It's become my favourite kit.
Are you filming Lord of the Rings in Lego?
No. But you can, because it's Rivendell, you can lay out. You can pick different sort of scenes to depict, if you like. So I've depicted the Council of Elrond. So you've even got Gimli standing up and trying to smash the ring with his I know what he's talking about there. Smash the ring with his axe. So yeah, it's awesome, and there's like lots of little hidden details in there. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, Lego did a marvelous job with it. Actually, they really did. I'm impressed with it. So yeah, it took me a week and a half to build. 6,500 pieces, so it's pretty fucking a lot of pieces. Big kit.
I've only heard grumblings about that. I'm just like, oh my god, please, no,
what is
spare me. It's a race baiting film, as far as I know. If the title tells you it's a race baiting film.
I didn't know if that was a joking title or not.
No, because there are groups of people who are incredibly racist and allowed to get away with it because of reasons, communist reasons mainly, because they like to engage in the oppression Olympics. But the AC/DC drummer Colin Burgess has died. I just had it flash up on my screen. That's not an alert I want to see. There's some other guy. Someone else died recently too.
Yeah, the guy out of what's his
Brooklyn
name?
Nine-Nine, or
funny dude.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a bit shocked by that one. We've lost a few people this year. I mean, Michael Gambon died this year, and I've forgotten about that. We've lost a few this year. And I quite like Michael Gambon as he was in a thing with like an MI6 thing where he played the head of MI6, and he played a good spy. Did Michael Gambon? He was a good spy. He got killed, unfortunately, but he was a good spy. But yeah, anyway, what are we talking about this week? What are we covering this week?
Right, so I don't want to, but you said we should do. There's some Doctor Who stuff.
Oh, I think we should cover it because it's interesting. Because it's nice to hear somebody double down on something that I agree with.
So we've got some Doctor Who bits. We've got Reacher is back. Woohoo! We can talk about Reacher, which I enjoyed. Slow Horses, which I'm absolutely loving. And I haven't seen Godzilla -1 because it's got very limited showings here in the UK. and the only showings they've got this week are 8 o'clock tonight and 5:40 tomorrow. So I'm going to see it tonight. So hopefully we'll be able to talk about that next time we get a chance. So yeah, we've got that. Yeah, I watched Monarch, which was okay. It was okay.
It's watchable. It's not like amazing TV, but it's at least semi-watchable. It's entertaining enough. It's better than a lot of the other stuff that's on there. So,
oh no, don't start with another. Yes, I saw the clip from that one.
Why do I know what that is?
I don't know why. What is the Netflix show with Julia Roberts and Basha? Whatever his name, the guy who should be playing Blade.
People have been banging on about this. So is it not good?
Oh no, there's a clip in it which is just out racist. It's you can't trust white people; they're evil, pretty much. No. Which is if prejudice is the basis and the foundation of racism, to prejudge everyone is wrong, full stop. And they do that.
I mean, we know that Russell T Davies has practiced it more than once in Doctor Who. I mean, he's not racist. He's what? He's discriminatory against disabled people by claiming they can't be evil. And therefore, only bad guys like Davros can be able-bodied now. The stupid thing, right? And I come back to this. I mean, I was angry about it 2 weeks ago, but the stupid thing is, I never saw him in a wheelchair. I saw him as half Dalek, which is very, very fucking different. I never saw him as like a disabled person. And he was directly, it was meant to have quoted The Hunchback of Notre Dame, right, as another example of this. And it's like, Russell, at the end of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he's the fucking hero.
Yeah, I remember that too.
So,
and the Phantom of the Opera was misunderstood.
Yes.
Ironside is always one, and fucking Professor X.
Yes. I mean, I don't get where he goes, oh, there's a tradition of people. No, there fucking isn't, you idiot.
A tradition? Anyway. There's been some evil people. The one that always got me was the ones with scars, yeah? Because the idea of the scarred villain is the fact that someone's had a pop at them to try to kill them and failed miserably. That was always the sign for the scarred villain. And Blofeld from Doctor Who was... Not Doctor Who. Fucking Doctor Who. James Bond.
This is the thing. This is the one that I just really don't understand, because I've never associated disabled people with evil. And it's like, where's this coming from? And I'm trying to think of like cases where this is the case. And as I said, Hunchback of Notre Dame, well, he turns out to be the fucking hero, right? There's several sort of things, like the crooked man in Sherlock Holmes, who turned out to be, wasn't evil because he wasn't crooked in the first place. I'm trying to think throughout all of film where all these evil depicted nasty disabled people are meant to be in wheelchairs, and I don't know any of them.
Do you remember I think late 90s to early 2000s there was the genius in the wheelchair because of Stephen Hawkins, and that was a trope. It wasn't good. It wasn't big enough to be a cliche, but it was a trope where you had the disabled guy in the wheelchair and they were like a genius. I remember that more than I can't remember evil people in wheelchairs. The only one I can think of is the guy from the Hannibal Lecter thing, Mason, played by Gary Oldman, ironically.
Actually, Dr. No, it wasn't Dr. No. You're talking about Blofeld, who was only in a wheelchair in the very final episode. It's only because Bond fucked him over in the previous one, and that was The Living Daylights, I think, is where Bond finally
beat the living daylights out of you.
What Bond does is he gets into a helicopter, doesn't he? And he hooks the wheelchair with the helicopter thing, flies up and drops him through the chimney of Battersea's power station. Brilliant way to go. Okay, so one supervillain was in a wheelchair in one of the Bond movies. Okay, a supervillain is in a wheelchair, and your point, Mr. Davis. Yeah. But again, I mean, we were talking about this before we came on here, just how disappointed we were with the 60th and how different it was to the 50th. And I'd forgotten, I've seen it in the cinema, and both of us saw it at the cinema together. I can forgotten that bit.
Yes.
But I remember the cinema. You know, there was a lot of things that they did specially for the cinema that you didn't see on the TV version. And there was like little. Yeah. Go on, you do
my
it.
favourite one was the Strax cinema etiquette.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about thingy. It had all the Centaurans watching in the cinema, and he goes, "I love the way popcorn screams." And he bit into it, and it screamed, delicious. It was an event. It was a proper event.
But it was an event because there was loads of surprises. You had that sort of classic Doctors team up thing that they did that no one saw coming. You had the Night of the Doctor, which how the fuck they kept that secret. How they managed to film that and no one knew about it. Just genius. And again, it makes me want to see Paul McGann come back as the Doctor. And you hear that they might make a Paul McGann Doctor Who. And I was actually excited for that until I saw the 60th. And now I'm like, because I really wanted to see Paul McGann as the Doctor. And I'm not so surprised. And the thing is that, like, I was saying this to you before. Again, on paper, you read the synopsis of the Christmas special, you're like, that actually sounds like fun. That sounds like, good versus evil goblins eating babies. That's a perfect Doctor Who Christmas fucking thing with Christmassy stuff around it. What a perfect Doctor Who episode for Christmas. Then you realize, oh shit, Russell T Davies is writing it. And based upon the last 3 episodes, it's not going to be good.
And it has a musical number in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Again, this week, the one good thing that's come out of, this about, because like there has been quite a backlash from disabled people, and Russell Brand's been quite Russell T Davies. Russell Brand's been a bad boy, but Russell T Davies has been quite an arsehole on Twitter over this, and people are right, and he's wrong, and he just won't accept it. And now it turns out, and I didn't even think about this, was when we got all those little puppets of all of the Doctors companions, bar one, Martha. And there are a few people going, Mr. Virtuitous over there, you left out the one black companion. Well done there, Russell. Well done. Mr. I'm a white knight for everybody. I'm a white knight for minorities, diversity, blah, blah, blah. You just want fucking gay people. That's all you care about.
He's a gay supremacist.
Well, it's only because he's got a gay hard-on for that girl in the wheelchair, because she seems to cast her in everything. And I think that's where it all came from. Yeah, she's cast her in a few things recently. And he waxed his lyrical about her. And they released the Goblin song this week. And the thing that annoys me, the song is quite funny, but I read that the person that's singing it is they've used her in every song that Doctor Who's done. Like, it's become a number. So like the Christmas one with Kylie Minogue in it, the person that sings the song is the same person that's singing the Dalek song. It's quite an recognizable voice, and it doesn't fit the female Goblin. I mean, it should be more freaking Gremlins like singing that song, not like a recognizable voice who did the Stowaway song for the Christmas special with David Tennant, where he did that amazing I'm 900 something years old, I'm the Doctor speak. Fucking epic speech, that one. And then she did the Daleks in Manhattan song. And there was another one that she did. The only one she didn't do was the Catherine Jenkins one, which is still my
because that's when Moffat was in charge, and he insisted on quality.
And I watched that today, and it's still Michael Gambon. And it's a glorious, fucking brilliantly written, perfect Christmas episode. I know it's not your favorite, but for me, I love that one. I love that.
No. It is in. I think I prefer the Moffat ones to the Russell T Davies. The only ones that were better is the Last Time Lord and the End of Time ones. But that was because of different reasons. But the Christmas ones, I think. I told you you'd be begging for fucking Moffat when this was all over, and I'm right.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Although I still think. I don't know if Moffat's also been infected by this, because the last few things he's written are exact. Look, I know you say it, that he's got bosses, but you don't. And for Doctor Who, I can understand it. He was being forced into it. Not convinced by the Dracula thing, and I'm definitely not convinced by that David Tennant thing that was on with it.
He did it. Both were for the BBC.
Mm.
I have to watch Time Traveller's Wife to see if that's got any of that crap in it. Because if it's got that crap in it, then it's him. If it's not got that crap in it, it's come from BBC.
I have a sneaking suspicion he's been hit by the same stick, but we'll see. We'll see. Because, I mean, the rumor is he has written a season 1 episode. We'll find out soon enough. It's going to air in April, apparently. So, I mean, season 1's filmed and they're already shooting season 2, and apparently there is going to be a season 3, and the big bad is the Veil Yard. So now how they're going to do the Veil Yard? Is it going to be the fact that Tennant's Doctor is now, some point in the future is regenerated as the Veil Yard? I don't know. But apparently we're getting the Veil Yard. There's also a rumor that we're getting multiple Doctors in it at the end of season 1, which kind of misses the fucking point. But anyway,
hang on a second. Hold on. Did you not hear about the change in universe for Doctor Who?
I've heard that. Well, yeah, go on. You explain this because I've
all right. So apparently the bi-generation. Oh, fucking hell. The bi-generation part of it, where he splits into another Doctor. Apparently, it's reverberated back through all the timelines, and every Doctor has split off rather than regenerated, which undoes the whole idea of regeneration. Undoes the sadness of seeing, it's the last Matt Smith or it's the last Peter Capaldi episode, yeah? And, fuck me, it's worse than this time as child.
In some ways.
Because it's just bollocks.
Yeah, but, right, here's the thing, right? If you'd done this at the end of, right, if you'd done this at the end of Jodie Whittaker's one, right? If you'd done this at the end and then had Jodie back for the 60th, right? And then you could have had all the Doctors that are still alive. So you could even have got Tom Baker in it, and it would have been wonderful, right? There's your fucking multiple Doctors, except Christopher Eccleston, because fuck you, Russell. We'll get onto that in a minute. But you could have done that. It kind of lends to the fact that they're saying there's going to be multiple Doctors in one of the season final at some point. Why the fuck you didn't do it? That would have made sense for the 60th, right? Then you could have undone it. You could have done some timey-wimey bullshit and, just undone it. And that would have been an explanation to get multiple Doctors on the screen and all aged, explaining their ages and everything else. And you could have had Tom Baker back and it would have been amazing, right? That would have been awesome. Nah. No. We did this at the end. Then we did this. And we're going to bring all these Doctors back when it doesn't really matter anymore. All we did in the 60th was celebrate Mr. Russell T Davies's ego. Anyway, though, look, I don't want to get too down about this. Let's talk about the Christopher Eccleston bit because this was fucking brilliant. This made me smile.
This was a couple of months back.
But I thought it was recently. This week.
Oh no! I'm sure.
Have you got it? Have you got the clip?
Oh, I sent it. Hang on a second. I have to pull the bloody WhatsApp up. So let me check and find the clip for you. It's 15 minutes, if I remember correctly.
It's about 15 minutes in the thing, but I mean, I think I can probably do it, actually. Hang on.
If you can do it, you can do it. I'm trying to get I'm at 88% of my freaking chats because I've been talking to loads of people recently because I'm not as antisocial as I think I am.
Because I'm Mr. Popular. Hang on. Let me load it into a Chrome tab. And let me find it. 1503, you reckon, yeah?
Hang on. I've got it. I beat ya! Here you go. I'm going to share screen.
Right, for the people who have not seen this is brilliant. Funny how Billy Piper looks exactly the same, and yet Eccleston is properly aged. Anyway.
I need to put sound on more importantly. But,
Person
no, come on, everyone.
And that was my mother.
Guys, wouldn't you love
who's
to
over there
see...
with the beard. Mum, you need to shave.
You'd all love to see Christopher come back as the Doctor, right? See? Now, what would have to happen for that to become a reality?
Sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back. So can you arrange that?
Did you find it hard to be like associated with the character given?
Not at all. I love being associated with the character. Just don't like being associated with those people and the politics that went on in the first series. The first series was a mess, and it wasn't to do with me or Billy. It was to do with the people who were supposed to make it, and it was a mess. And the first series of any show, Billy did Confessions of a...
Cool girl.
You know, first series, nobody wants to know. The BBC were like, we're going to keep a big distance from this. And then as soon as it was a success, they were all up close going, I was responsible for that. But they were all like at a distance, like this is a folly, Eccleston's folly, Piper's folly, Russell T. Davis's folly. And then when it worked, suddenly, oh yeah, I worked on that. They wouldn't come anywhere near us. And then they jump on the bandwagon. Those kind of politics, I'm not very good at handling. I can't swallow that shit.
I know his acts, whatever happened, which we don't know the proper story behind, it was between him and Russell T. Davis. Mm-hmm. I know that. That's the one thing I do know. Yeah.
They used to be good friends, and
yes.
He cast them in everything. And, you know, there was this big falling out. But the thing is, what he was saying there about people taking credit for things, Russell T. Davis strikes me as that type of person. I mean, he definitely has a bitchy fucking streak in him. I mean, you just look at some of the ways he's replied on X, recently.
And hang on a second, Keith.
And the way he baits.
Hold on a second. We know that certain improprieties happened on the Doctor Who set via the guy who played Mickey and John Barrowman.
Apparently...
And they're the ones that we know about, Keith. Sorry?
Yeah. Eccleston wasn't happy about John Barrowman's behaviour on set. Now, I kind of like John Barrowman, but I can see why Chris Eccleston might have not... Look, running around...
If you whip out... Hang on a second, Keith. Let's just summarise. If you whip out your Todger and you put it on my shoulder during makeup, I'm not going to be happy with you.
True. I'd probably punch you. Somebody did that to me once when they were slightly pissed and did get a smack for it. But I don't know. I don't know if it was that sort of way. I don't get that in John Barrowman. I think he's just a bit of a lunatic. I don't think it was overly sexual what he was doing. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's.
He's being a dick.
Yeah, but I can understand why Christopher Eccleston didn't get on with him that way, and I can almost guarantee you that Russell T. Davis probably, we know he probably stuck up for John Barrowman and defended it because that's who he is. I mean, this is the man that used to go to gay clubs and do all sorts of things, you know, and try. Look, I'm not having a go at the culture or anything like that. You know, everyone to their own, right? But there are some things that are not appropriate on set. And that is probably one of them. And I can understand why people might have fallen out. But look, I mean, that's just wonderful to hear. I agree with it. I think, you know, Eccleston is becoming more and more outspoken against the BBC. I've made no qualms that I once was a staunch defender. I've had arguments with you defending the BBC. I cannot defend the BBC anymore. It needs to go. Spin off the news section. Fine. Keep the news section. Some of it's okay. I still think there's some really, there's a lot of leftist journalism sort of creeping in. You look at the BBC News front page, and it is 70% women in the pictures and things, and you know that's cultivated on purpose. But look, the news is still reasonably impartial, but the rest of the BBC is not. It needs new bosses, but I think as a network TV channel, it needs to go. Put the BBC, keep the BBC News channel, and everything else is gone. Spin off the BBC as a news company, and that's it. Because that's my opinion. But I think what Eccleston said, we've known for years that he had a falling out, but this is just, that was quite blatant. He's not wrong.
Dude, I would like to know the truth, because he clearly, whatever the truth is, he's not speaking it fully. Yeah, we know he's not speaking it fully, so I'm very curious to find out what the actual truth, what the actual fuck went on. But just before we go, just before we go on to our next section, before we go, just a quick one. We'll say hello, Buffer, as always. First in, love it. Hi, Steve, and hello, Laurie. I don't know. We've got Iceland videos today. That's my next one, and yeah. So, Mad Max. There was What the fuck's going on with the planet? When they switched? Remember a while back when they switched on CERN? Everyone was determined that it was going to end the world. Did it not end the world by screwing us up socially? Do you think? Do you think it affected everyone's minds?
I don't think it affected everybody's mind because it didn't affect mine.
I think it has affected my mind because I was a much more forgiving person a while back.
No,
I would let things fly, but I don't.
No, because it's everywhere now. You let things go because it was only in the odd thing. This is what I mean when I said last week. This shit. It divides people. It turns moderate people who didn't really care. It makes people pick sides. It radicalizes people. It makes people angry all the time, and it's done it. It does it to me. I despair. And my camera's frozen. I've derped. Have I derped on your side?
You've derped. You've derped. Your signal's not derped, but your camera. Did you not charge your battery?
No, my
battery's on. Did you forget
to
charge your battery? Are you sure?
My battery. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Hang on. I will reset the camera. Let's see if that.
For the podcast listeners, because we do have listeners too, Keith, and we do forget that. So let's talk about slow horses. Let's talk about slow. I want to talk about something nice.
I'm with you, but this is my point. This is my point because it does this to us. Anyway, shall we talk about slow horses last or first?
Look, hang on a second. If Biffer, if we were living in a simulation, I would find some cheat codes. So we're not living in a simulation. And plus, why the fuck would you want to simulate my existence? What a dumb idea. Oh yeah, okay, we want to play boring middle person in England doing boring stuff and filing simulator.
Yeah. That's my job at the moment. It's 8 hours of meetings per day. Yes.
What do you call it? I like to lay into people for wasting my time for meetings. It's like no. I always do the thing where it's like kind of, what do we need to say? And then after I have a conversation with them, like we can trim this down to about 20 minutes, because I always schedule in like half hour for a meeting, but it's only 10 minutes, and I ever use the 10 minutes, and just in case we overset the mark. But hey,
what do you want to cover first? Slow horses.
Yes, let's do slow horses.
I'm loving it. It was a less comical episode this week and a more sort of dramatic episode, but there were moments. I liked the conversation with what's her face in the car, where they were sort of kind of being dicks to each other, but she admitted that she missed the bloke that got killed, and that was kind of a nice, sort of emotional, heartwarming conversation between the two. It was real and it felt real.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really well done.
And then you had the bit with his grandfather in the gentleman's club, which is sad. Yeah. But I think storyline wise, I think that him not being quite there, he might start spilling stuff, which will be interesting. Which I'm sure will have an effect towards the end of the season. Which I'm looking forward to. And then you had fucking Ho with his hot rod. And his Subaru with Jackson Lamb. He's like, shut up, I want to sleep. And it's like something inconspicuous. That was quite entertaining. And then you've got the other two coming back and goes, oh, you've been fired, I haven't been fired. And I was like, no, hemorrhoids, as in two of us. And he gets back and says, you've both been fired. That was quite entertaining. They're going to get hired in moments.
Yeah,
he'll hire them again.
Yeah, I don't think they have been fired. But we'll see. We'll see, because something's going to happen. I mean, the boss is blatantly on the way out. I mean, she's been a complete bitch all the way through, and the fact that she's now screwing over, what's her face, Diane, what's her face, number 2.
Right, so
she's going to end up running it. She's going to end up as
love
first
it
chair.
when you have. I love it when you have these bits in TV shows where and it was last week, and I brought it up last week, where you get to see who the characters are just through simple kind of actions and like simple conversations. And last week it was she made a comment. I hope we get out of this unscathed. Yes, I hope Standish is fine. To which she replied, "I was thinking about us," which tells you all about her character, but also informs. I can't remember her name now. Oh, Kavanagh, is it?
Mm.
Is it Kavanagh? It tells you about her character too. So she actually gives a shit too. And then you have the great example of why the dogs are called the dogs, where they bowl into what was it, Chieftain Security, and they just fucking shout the room down and say, "We're in charge. We'll show you it's fucking done. You follow us." Where you had Duffy, and I can't remember.
Smugness of the week before, it was nice to see them getting slapped around, even if it is by Duffy, who's a wanker and needs to. The trouble, I think, because we were talking about this before you come on air, but I think you're right. The trouble is, I think Duffy's going to kind of end up being a hero. I'm going to be pissed off. It's either that or he's going to get killed, one or the other.
I think Duffy's he's secretly a good guy. He's secretly a good guy.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, because you get towards the end of the thingy. Laurie, we'll get to that when we get through small horses. When you get to it, it's like they've got hold of Donovan and his brother, what would have been his brother. I'll say his brother-in-law just because it makes it easier. His brother-in-law, and they've gone to the wherever the department where they're keeping all the records, and it's not really after the grey books because of secrets. They're after the grey books because someone has slipped something in there for them to look at, and we find that out, which is interesting. So they're going off to do that, and then at the same time you've got Chieftain and the dogs have just been ordered by the first chair to clean the board, which is the polite way of murdering everyone. Dude, it was great because you saw Duffy when he said, he was like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, because there are people. Yeah, and it's like I imagine Duffy's the kind of person, if outside the organisation, you won't think twice about killing anyone, but you're one of his, he'll think twice, because even though he what do you call it? Even though I don't think he likes River, I do think he respects him because he fucking broke in twice, yeah, and got past him twice, and he's taken a big old kicking from him and his mate. So I think he does have a level of respect there, which might not quite exist with other people.
And I think that's going to come out because I think Duffy's going to save him. It's either that or River's going to kill him.
I think what's going to happen is the reason I think Duffy's going to save him is because of the missing diamond. Because Watsamush, she's in turn and goes, "I know where the missing diamond is, and I can give you the missing diamond if you spare us. If you kill me, you'll never know." So I think that's going to play into it. So, because they've been playing on that all the way through, and it's got to pay off at one point, and I think that's what it's going to pay off. So if it's well written, that's going to happen.
Well, it's been well written so far, so I suspect that is exactly what's going to happen. The thing is, it leaves me wanting more. I suppose that's what's good about it. And you know, they've already got a full season, so we'll get a trailer for that, I think, at the end of the third.
James Callis is supposed to be in this, isn't he? I've seen footage of him.
Well,
I've seen screen caps. Well, maybe he's set up for the next.
We've got 2 episodes left. I think you're right that Grandad's going to start spilling things, but I don't think we're going to get that till the final episode. So what happened to Standish's boss, stroke lover, maybe, I think is what's going to be the crux of the next one. So we will have to see. But again, it's been brilliant. I mean, it's a very fictitious sort of MI5 in the way it's organized and everything. It's very different to the the real one. It's not Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but I love the concepts. I love Gary Oldman in this. He is truly brilliant. He is obnoxious and vile, and yet he is an amazing spy. And that's
so
the thing.
Standish
He's lazy.
too.
Yeah. So yeah, they're all fuck ups, but the thing is, Gary Oldman's character, he's not a fuck up. He just can't be asked. But the thing is, when he needs to...
No, hang on. No. They are all fuck ups. And and the reason I think that, because they've all been sent to Slough House because they fucked up, yeah? Standish got sent there because she was sleeping with her boss, which she shouldn't have been doing. Yeah? River, we know, called in a terrorist attack at fucking Luton. Yeah? Min, who died tragically in the previous one, he left his documents on the thingy. Ho is unworkable. Watsamush has been taking drugs and punching her colleagues. And other matey has been gambling, yeah? So we know that they fucked up. So Lamb's fuck up, I think, is he killed the wrong person. I think he was supposed to kill Standish. Come on,
I think that would be interesting. That would be a good twist, because that would then mean he cares. And we kind of know he does, but he makes out that he doesn't, right? And I think somewhere buried deep, Lamb does give a shit. So that would be good to see, that kind of twist. And again, that would make his character more interesting, because there is a depth to his character. Once you get below the vileness and the awfulness and everything, there is a depth there. And the fact that he is a really good spy, he's a seasoned spy, old school spy with really good skills. It's I'm looking forward. We've got 2 episodes left, so we've got obviously one just after Christmas, so we've got one in between Christmas and New Year. So a late Christmas present to get the final, and hopefully trailer to season 4.
Yes. Sorry, Laurie brought up some things. They were going to go and see. We had tickets to see Wonka, but they had to call it because of fire in the theatre.
I want to see that. I might go in if it's on here. I'm hoping it is. I might take the missus to see that, because it is a prequel to the original sort of musical version, which I still love.
Is it? I have seen nothing apart from posters.
Oh, well, you got Hugh Grant, but it's all the cues from the original sort of Oompa Loompa. So he looks like, even though he's smaller than the guys, but he starts doing the Oompa Loompa Loompa da dee, and he's like, I've started, so I can't stop now, and he carries on doing the tuts. Mm-hmm. I think it's a slight tongue of the cheek Mickey type, but it looks like a fun film, so I will potentially go and see that. Biffa said he saw Wonka.
Yeah.
Any good?
Yes. Yeah, any good? More importantly.
No
I saw Wonka.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, because you do not want to incur the wrath of Laurie. Trust me.
Yeah.
So Wonka was made for 7-year-olds. That doesn't. Yeah, but so was the original.
Well, I don't know. I've got Godzilla and Die Hard to see at the cinema before Christmas.
I'm extremely jealous of that, because it's not on here. Well, it is on here, but there's no subtitles in English. So...
Apparently, it's really emotional. I'm worried I'm going to come out crying. So what film did you watch? Godzilla.
I saw Godzilla.
It was beautiful.
I've got to try and find it. I was hoping it was going to come out on streaming, but because I kind of want to support it, but I want to see it. Wonka's a movie that get you in the McDonald's. It's a movie you get in a McDonald's Happy Meal. All right, I get what you mean by that. But I kind of like Happy Meals, and the toys were cool, so I'll probably like it.
I wonder why. I wonder what can give you a thingy. Right.
Yeah. I'm with you, Laurie. I love the originals.
I hate musicals, but I actually like that one. There's some really creepy bits in it, though. I found the TV bit really creepy.
Yeah.
And the one that inflates, and the one that was creepiest was the fat kid who gets stuck in the tubes.
Yeah, but that was Roald Dahl. I mean, the creepy bit was when he does the whole thing on the boat. That and the scenes that was really weird, druggy, 1960s bit. But actually, the music is wonderful. I mean, I like both versions of Wonka for different reasons. But I'm a huge Roald Dahl fan. As a kid, I loved Roald Dahl. I still love Roald Dahl.
Dahl.
I encourage my younger niece to read them all. My eldest niece is probably a bit old from now. Getting her into Lord of the Rings. You'll be proud of me, Biffa. Right. Lord of the Rings is a special thing.
Hobbit. You start with the Hobbit for children. No, everybody knows you start with the Hobbit when it comes to children.
Yes, I know, but I'm talking about the films. I'm going to try and persuade Tia to watch the films. That's my niece. Because she saw the Lego kit and thought that was amazing. So you've got to watch the films. You've got to understand why this is so special. Why my dad had a tear in his eye yesterday. Because it was like, we know that my mum would have loved that. And, you know, one of my first bedtime stories was Lord of the Rings, not The Hobbit. So I know that you start with The Hobbit, but I had Lord of the Rings. We went into that fucking hardcore stuff. Tom Bombadil, which is not in the films.
No, I know about Tom Bombadil, and I'm quite glad Tom Bombadil wasn't in the films.
Gene Watt. Gene
right,
Wilder.
So hang on a second. You said hang on. All right, so let me just get this right. The guy who plays Charlie, as in Charlie Bucket in the original, lives near you.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And then you've got Gene Wilder was great. He even though he did stuff that they weren't expecting, like the bit where he comes out and he does the fake thing and the roll and the forward roll in front of everyone. That was him, made that shit up on the spot, which they weren't too happy with. That was good. So I have got a soft spot for that film.
Yeah,
it's ironically, as a kid, it would have been something I would have watched in the Christmas period, along with Carry On films. Yeah, you know, it's a British TV thing where you had like we had the 4 channels, so it's like 1, 2, 3, or 4. So BBC 1, 2, 3, ITV, or Channel 4, and you would have these sort of things in the afternoon. So you'd have it between like 2 and 5 before like the football results or whatever came in.
But it's still a magical film. Oh shit! Sorry, I had to adjust myself there. It's a magical film, and I think people. Yeah, I saw that.
I had to say that in my because when I read I don't sub-vocalize. I had to sub-vocalize in order to understand that. Booger sugar.
It's true. But and that scene on the boat, yeah, that kind of sums it up. I'm going to go and see Wonka as well. And if it's for 7-year-olds, great, because sometimes I need that kind of level. Seriously. If you
Die Hard, mate.
Gareth, well, yeah, I'm going to be watching that anyway, but that's not. I mean, you'll get to sit in the cinema, you bastard. I'll watch that. I'm going to start watching Christmas movies this week. I've refused to go to more than 2 meetings this week. I've told them. I said it is the week up to Christmas. I am not going to more than 2 meetings a day. If I have 2 meetings booked, don't bother asking me, because I am doing bugger all this week. That is my plan. It's Christmas, fuck it, and I want to feel like it's Christmas. And then the last week up to Christmas, you do fuck all because you're still recovering from the Christmas party, which I didn't go to because I'm halfway around the world. Anyway, I want to talk about Reacher, and I know you do, because I'm fucking loving it. Even the scene at the beginning, which I'd seen the clip of, and the terrible acting by the guy at the carjacker. I mean, that acting was so over the top and bad, and I don't care because I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm really, really, really enjoying it because it's just good TV. There's no fucking silly woke bullshit. It's got men and women on the screen doing kick-ass jobs, and none of it seems to be woke. You've got Reacher just kicking the shit out of everything. The
last bit where they broke into the house with the nail bomb.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. That was good. That was good. And what was it when the copper comes back to her and it's like, no more donkey shit? It's like, what are we going to do? More donkey shit. I love that. I'm loving it. My only problem is it's following this Amazon model of releasing one episode. I want it all. Give it to me. I want the other 5 episodes. Come on. You know, and the thing is, right, Amazon are doing it because they want you to, you know, talk about it week after week. The thing is, we've been talking about Reacher since it was on, right? We bring up Reacher all the time because it was good and it wasn't woke, and because every other fucking thing on Amazon is. So I don't know why they just dropped the whole damn lot. But we'll see. Anyway, don't worry, because we get Echo soon as well. Yay!
Why, Keith?
I'm joking. Did you not see the cheeky laugh in my thing? Go on. What you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like the way he took out the cop car and triggered his airbag off. That was quite amusing. And then it was like, oh shit, there's a copper. And then he got his mate, and he's like, kind of, they're going to arrest. He's like, the copper turns up and goes, they're going to arrest me and take me away. He goes, you two carry on doing this thing. He goes, what? You went to law school, didn't you? And yeah. Where did you go? Rutgers. I went, okay, fair enough. Gets out the car, gets in the car with him, goes, oh, I've got to come with you, blah, blah, makes up some bullshit, goes, no, that's made up bullshit. And he went, okay, fair enough. He drags him off, and then again, I always love these little bits in TV shows and stuff because they want to show that the copper's a good guy without telling you, oh, that copper's a really nice person. So in the back is some toys for some kids somewhere, be it grandkids, nephews, nieces, neighbours, charity or whatever. So you can see that he's a good guy, and then they take him in, they have conversation with him, kind of get a bit 30 shirty. He's going to have a fist fight with Reacher. I wouldn't have a fist fight with Reacher unless he was using his fists and I was using a gun. That's the only way I'd ever get into a fight with him, because I want to win. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's the only thing when the copper goes, you know, and after we're done, you and I are going to get back into this, and this time I'm going to fucking take you. That bit, Reacher should have just gone, nah. I mean, the bit was like, I liked it in the car just before Reacher did what he did. I was like, that's a fucking brilliant idea. I should think of that next time. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He just fucking boots the fucking smack and breaks his fucking nose. Brilliant.
I love that. So we've got, what was it? So one of his mates got killed by being thrown out of a helicopter. It looks like they're dealing illegal arms with the help of a third party. I don't see them making. I don't see them making drugs.
They made a link to the planes that and talking about the fuel, and they were coming from Afghanistan. So I think it's drugs or something, but it was quite brutal, that torture scene, because at the beginning of the 3rd episode, you know, what's his face, who was the bad guy in Terminator 2, but then he's always played kind of good guys ever since, right? So seeing him play an all-out bad guy again has been, but that was brutal when he fucking takes that metal pole to his ankles and his shins and breaks them. That was pretty freaking brutal.
I'll be honest with you, it wasn't as bad as him being thrown out the back of a helicopter, still alive.
Yeah, but it doesn't, because it's not on screen. You only just see him throw out a helicopter.
See, hold on a second. The stuff that's not shown is the bit where your brain falls in the details, and it always makes it worse than whatever they could show on screen.
I don't know. For me,
I'll give you an example. Second episode of Spooks, Deep Fat Fryer.
True. That
never saw it. But your brain made that horrific.
That still freaks me. But I don't think that the helicopter thing didn't do it. For, you know, it made me sad. It was like, oh, he's about to die, and the look on his face did it. For the full on. It was the brutalness of the you know, he took 4 whacked him. It's like, you are a nasty bastard. But it was pretty brutal. It was pretty violent, and it was kind of out of the blue. And I think I found that quite well. But again, this is what Reacher does. It sets up bad guys, and he's a fucking bad guy, right? There's none of this namby-pamby bullshit. He's a cunt, right? And in the nicest possible and true way of the word, that's what he is, and Reacher's going to deck him. And that's what I want to see. It's what happened in the 1st season. It was awesome, and we're going to get that again, and it bloody works. Sometimes we just need testosterone, right, on TV. That's just what we need, right? Brute force testosterone. No thinking, just this, right, and it works for both sexes. And it works. It works. I want to see that guy get his head kicked in because he is what he is, and that's good because that's what a good bad guy does. And yeah, I love it.
I've never read the Jack Reacher novels. I've seen them on sale in the airport, but never read. I've never seen them anywhere outside the airport. I think about it now.
Lee Child, Lee Child's like, he's interviewed. If you go onto the Amazon specials bits, he's got a weird accent. And
He's English, but he's been in the States for a while, so he's twang. Yeah. He's got a twang.
It's weird. So, there's a hint of English and a hint of American. It's kind of strange. But again, twang. Yeah, transatlantic twang. Twang. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. I like this kind of TV. I enjoyed the first series, and actually, in some ways, I'm actually enjoying this more. I think the story's more interesting. I want to know what it's all about. I thought that the build-up, the first 3 episodes were quite good. It's interesting seeing him being back with his team and how all the others have kind of got more normal lives and Reacher's, and how Reacher sort of interacts with them. The fact that they had to persuade him to go to the swanky pad rather than the motel and that kind of thing. I like that. And they keep sort of taking the mick out of him. And the fact that he fixes his goddamn toothbrush, it's like, come on, man, buy a new freaking toothbrush. But I like that interaction.
I love the way it's like, I've unpacked. Just puts his toothbrush on the side. Like, yeah, I've unpacked, everything's fine. And then the other one where they're talking to the copper from New York, and he's like kind of goes, yeah, it calls everyone apart from you. Why is that? To which his mate tells him, because he doesn't own a phone.
And I like the fact, I like the 2 female characters. They're not they're not infallible, right? They're clever, but that's because they were chosen because they're clever, right? There's a reason why they're clever, but they don't immediately fucking kill men that are 3 times the size of them. I mean, she kept trying to kill that bloke, and it isn't her that kills him. She's saved by her colleague, right? Which again was good. And then at the end, you get the other girl shoots the other one, and he falls down the stairs. But they're not. They have journeys. These characters, they're not perfect. They're not awesome. Yeah. The minute they come out the door, they feel real, and I like that. I know. I mean, seriously, Hollywood putting real women on TV. God, blimey. But the characters feel real. They feel grounded. You know Reach is going to kick the shit out of you. He is literally a fucking walking mountain. And that works. That works for me. But I'm enjoying it. Got anything more to
add? No, I'm waiting for. I got annoyed because I got to the episode. I got to the end of episode 3, and I went, watch it. I can't watch the next one.
But that, in some ways, that's good.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. So Monarch. I don't mean Monarch of the Glen.
Oh, no.
Have we used that? Have we done that joke? Oh no, it's the Monarch of the Glen.
Actually, that actor, the guy that played him, keeps turning up. I mean, he was in Andor as Senator What's-Her-Face's husband. That was the guy that was in Monarch of the Glen. And what was he in recently? I saw him in something recently. Can't remember what it was. It was in something recently. Damn it, I've forgotten. Murder thing. Can't remember. But it was in something recently as well.
Murder thing.
Well, he got murdered.
Okay.
Can't remember.
Right. So, Monarch. Yes. Watched it. It's getting a bit better. It's still slow as fuck. To be honest. But we've got some movement in there. We had double Godzilla this week, both in the past and the present. Well, I say the present, the almost present.
I like the fact that we got back to the 50s story, the origin story of Monarch. I like the fact that we got back to that, because when we had that, it was more interesting. And it was more interesting this week because we went back. And again, the thing with when they see their father, he's got the same type of bomb. that they were using back in the 50s. And again,
allure,
you still haven't
describing it.
Yeah, it still hasn't explained why Kurt Russell's character looks so damn good, considering he should be about 100 and something. And he's not. So we need to get that explanation. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions. We got some more. We got double Gordia. So obviously you did not blow up Gordia, which was kind of obvious. You basically gave him a snack. He was like, "Thanks for the snack. He was a doggy treat. Well done, good Godzilla, good boy. Here's a nuke, good boy." Yes. I knew that was him hiding under the rock, but again, that was an interesting sort of twist at the end. When they were there, it was like, oh, they're going to find Godzilla sleeping, aren't they? Because he got pretty fucked up after that fight, so he's gone off to relax. That explains why people don't see him, because he's kind of hibernating, recharging.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would have been a little bit pissed off if you'd woken me up like that. What the fuck? No wonder he roared and stomped off.
I was expecting Godzilla to have a massive piss. He woke up and I was expecting to have a big radioactive slash. Because just imagine, that's how I would have written it. It would have been, oh my god, he's woken up. Oh my god, he's going to kill us. And then all of a sudden he just starts pissing.
But he would have been swaying as well, because he's slightly hungover, having having had a bit of a bender, before he went to sleep, laying waste to San Francisco, getting in a bit of a fight, right, winning the day, took a few punches, bit knackered, bit fucking drunk, walk off, fall asleep, and then some bastard wakes you up. Yeah, you're right. Take a piss on him. And then, I go, "Rah!" and stomp off.
That's the first thing I do when I wake up. Have a piss. Busting for a piss.
And if I've had a bit of a bend, I'm usually a bit of fucking grumpy if I get woken up by it like that as well. I'm going, I want to go back to bed.
I'm usually just grumpy in general. But yeah, I have no idea where this is going.
It's the origin of Monarch.
But where's this season going? Where we going to head?
Monarch kind of becomes almost good by the time you get to sort of like the second movie, third movie, right? You've got them they've got Kong and Monarch are kind of seen as the good guys by that point. So something changes, because Monarch were pretty fucking sinister in the first one. So what's going on at Monarch? Yeah, I don't know where it's going, but it's called Gordia. It's half interesting. It's not like it's slow moving. It's not the best thing on TV, but it's still way better than most other shit. At least it's watchable, and at least was little to no woke shit in it until we got the lesbian friends. But that kind of disappeared again.
One episode and then fucked off. I kind of appreciate that. Let's get all the lesbian stuff in one episode. Boom, done.
We're getting some racism towards the Japanese girl, but it was in context, right? It was in context.
Yes.
And that made sense. It made sense that people were going at her in 1946 or whenever, or 1950.
After being at war with Japan.
Yeah, kind of made sense. Doesn't it? Yeah. And it wasn't kind of interjected or felt like it was having a go at people. It was kind of like, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't virtue signaled or explained to us on screen. The characters didn't have to tell me what was going on. It was kind of fucking obvious. I don't dislike Monarch. I watched. You don't watch it, but I watched For All Mankind. That was pretty good this week. Better episode. Actually, there was some really good character moments in this, and a few payoffs. Which were pretty good. I don't really know where this season's going, but it was pretty good. It's a bit like Monarch. It's a bit of a slow burner. Not as good as the third season, but interesting nevertheless. It's kind of a what if, and it's interesting seeing. There were a few things that were good in this week's episode. So that's Apple TV still at the moment is killing it when compared to all the other streams. Bearing in mind how many things they bring out, statistically, they are better than any other streaming service. And who would have thought that? Statistically, You look at how many things they release over a year. It's not that much. You look at how many things Netflix release. Most of it's shit. So, but I was going to watch that film with Julia Roberts, but now what you guys are saying right at the beginning in the comments, what Biffy was saying and what you were saying, I'm kind of being put off it now.
Yeah, I heard the same, and I'm just like, I don't want to support that as an endeavour. I'll be honest with you.
Because I was hearing good things
as I said,
about
I've got Godzilla -1 to watch tonight, which I'm looking forward to, and I've got other.
Hang on, I need to pause and interrupt the show for a special announcement. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave. I've got some time off, so I can finally get around to reading your book that's been sitting next to my sofa for the last couple of months. So I will read your book finally, and then I will critique it. Yes.
For the people in the podcast, it's a special friend of the show, Dave, who was in the comments, and we have a special greeting for him. Anyway, yes. Going back, Monarch's got to come to an end soon. I think it's nearly the final episode of the season, but we've got to find out why Kurt Russell is still so young. But look, it's hotting up, and we've had some goals here. I'm jealous about you going to see -1. I might try and sell the 7th season, then buy it later to support it. But I want to see it. I desperately want to see it. So, and I know you want to talk about it, so I want to see it before you spoil the shit out of it. And considering remember, it cost $15 million to make this film.
$36 million to make the film.
I heard
in
15.
Total. No, it's $36 million in total. Everything.
Is that its marketing budget?
I think it was including its marketing budget, everything.
Well, that's half of the damn film. But I've heard the trailer effects are amazing for it. But I want to see it.
Apparently, there's a few. I've heard there are a few clunky bits in there, and it's more emotional than you expect. And
you're gonna come out and cry.
For the first time in a Godzilla film, you actually give a shit about the people.
Yeah.
Because usually you watch it. And I just want to see the monkey punch the lizard. Get to monkey punching lizard. Like guttural part of my brain, right? The kind of animalistic part of my brain. Monkey punch lizard. That's what I paid for. Show me monkey punch lizard.
Well, actually, in the third one, it was monkey punch lizard, punch metal lizard.
And then monkey lizard came up to punch robot lizard. That's it. That's the extent of the story. You don't need to know any more than that. That was how the original Toho stories were too. And that means it was faithful to its source material.
Yeah, I like how all these people criticize those Godzilla movies. Like, well, there was no source to it. It's a freaking Godzilla movie. No one gives a shit about the people. It is literally monkey punch lizard. I mean, you're right. And on that account, it excels. Because not only have you got monkey punch lizards, they're jumping across aircraft carriers doing it. Awesome.
That was an unfair fight.
One picks up a battleship and throws it at the lizard.
That was a very unfair fight, that one was.
He still threw a battleship. I'm sorry. You should have had like subtitles for Godzilla. What's his face? Kong should have gone, "Hey, you sunk my battleship." That would have made it better. You know it.
And on that rather
subtitles, you sunk my battleship.
And on that rather crap note, thank you very much for watching. We will see if we can arrange something early next week because it's Christmas Eve next Sunday. And hopefully everything will pan out fine and we'll sort something out. And hopefully you'll see Godzilla -1.
Yeah. Sorry, Chuck. It's my giant black cock. Jealous.
Oh my God. You're the one who's got it near your gob, mate. You're not supposed to deep throat the thing.
Oh, it's coming from you. With your remote. My mic.
What's wrong with the outro music? Steve, tell me what's wrong with the outro music, because this is our music we're allowed to use.
The outro music is what is now our intro music.
And the intro music, we swapped them around. So
yeah. Steve
anyway, have Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, we'll be maybe back next week, but it might be on Saturday. We don't know yet, but we'll let you know. Keep a lookout.
Okay.
Anyway.
Bye-bye. See ya.